Happy Tuesday, Move Fully Nourished team. This is your Tuesday training on how to grill safely for summer. It is not only the start of grilling season, it's also my husband's birthday today. And so I just wanted to kick off the start of this next phase of our summertime off with some grilling tips. So did you know that higher cooking temperatures can often create chemical reactions that can produce dangerous carcinogens and compounds that can damage our DNA? A lot of times we don't think about going to a barbecue and thinking about, damaging or causing any ill effect to our health, but there are definitely safety precautions that we can take in order to make sure that we're protecting our health and our body. So a few of the dangerous compounds that I want to talk about today are called HCAs. They're called heterocyclic amines. The other one is PAH, which is polycystic aromatic hydrocarbons, and then AGEs, which is advanced glycination end products. And HCAs are made when a protein source, for example, like a meat source, reacts with heat, and it's found in concentrated really in grilled or charred meats and fish. So like the brown or blackened parts that you see on the protein source. HCAs can cause damage to our DNA and actually in time can cause cancer. So PHAs is the form when meat is charred or blackened, or when fat from the meat drips onto the grill's hot surface. And also there can be ready-to-eat commercial breakfast cereals, processed carbs, fats, and oils, tobacco smoke that also contain high amounts of PAHs. So something to also think about as well. Factors that influence HCA formation include the type of food, the cooking method, the temperature. So problems can start to arise around 212 degrees Fahrenheit and really become more exceptionally high at about 572 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the cooking duration. So the hotter and longer a meat is cooked, the more HCAs, heterocyclic amines, and the more PHAs that are formed. According to the National Institute of Health, HCAs are on the official list of cancer-causing agents and are genotoxic, meaning they can cause mutations in our DNA. So when people say, oh, it doesn't matter, this is part of my genes, like I'm not impacting my health by doing this because I'm just destined to be this way, it's totally false and untrue. You have the power to actually, what's called, when we're looking at genes, genetic modifications, you have the power to express certain genes and downregulate certain genes. So it's really important to look at what factors impact and influence the gene regulation. Okay, in addition, nitrates and nitrites. So this is a toxic preservative often used in meats for curing or for making sure that they don't go bad. But the nitrates and nitrites are often, you'll see them on labels now as this product is nitrate free. Or if you don't see that and you look at the back of the label and you see nitrates or sodium nitrites, then you know that they're included in this product. HCAs and PHAs are also found in smoked, barbecued, and processed meats like bacon, ham, sausage, hot dogs, salami, bologna, lunch meats, corned beef, and they can cause the most health problems. So I often recommend my clients, if you're going to purchase a lunch meat, to look to see that it doesn't have any nitrates and nitrites in them. And usually by a reputable company like Applegate Farms or Plainville, those are companies that are doing their best to really make sure that their products are safe for us to consume. Okay, what are AGEs? So you've heard me mention this before as well. AGEs form when sugars and proteins in a food react together with heat. So they form during pasteurization, drying, smoking, frying, microwaving, and grilling. So it's not just grilling here, but any food that contains sugars, fats, and protein is the perfect storm for AGEs to form. AGEs negatively can impact our cells, our tissues, and our organs, and can contribute to inflammation in the body, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, kidney disease, muscle loss, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. So what can we do about them? Number one, change your cooking method. Use indirect heat methods like poaching, stewing, braising, steaming. Those are all great. Steaming, when I'm talking about like having a pot of water and having a mesh, like a strainer or a hold container to be able to let the heat seep through. I'm not talking about doing this using plastic in your microwave. Number two is to consume more plants in our diets. Plant-based diets have fewer HCAs or PAH creating compounds, and can also help our body and fight the effects of DNA damage and oxidation with the higher antioxidant content. So the more plants, the less cancer. We also need protein in our diet, is very important as well. So I'm not saying avoiding all animal-based foods. I'm just saying consume them safely, but also make sure that you're getting a variety of plant-based sources too, to help combat and cope with the antioxidant or free radical formation that can happen in our bodies. That does happen in our bodies every day. And then number three would be avoiding processed foods, which definitely have more HGEs. So like I was saying before, processed cereals can have them. There's also a lot of other chemicals in the foods that don't look like actual whole food sources. So the more processing it goes through, the more damage to the actual plant formation that took place, and the higher sugar content or higher processed fat content that that product usually has. Also, number four, use liquid in cooking. So methods like, again, steaming, stewing, poaching, braising, and blanching are all great options. If you've never blanched before, that's a quick method of heating something up in boiling water very quickly, not to lose the nutrients from the plant or product that you're putting in the boiling water, and then you put it in an ice bath quickly thereafter. And then number five, use acids like lemon juice or vinegar in marinades and cooking liquid, helping to protect your body against AGEs. And then how can we make grilling overall healthier? Okay, so step one, use herbs and spices. Herbs and spices help lower HCAs and PHAs in the content of your food and make your foods taste really good. So giving you a variety of flavors. And some of these examples could include rosemary, basil, thyme, sage, oregano, turmeric, onion powder, garlic, just to name a few. And really, rosemary has a very powerful antioxidant kick and can actually help protect against the HCA formation, the carcinogen that we talked about before, from your protein sources. So marinating your protein with a little rosemary and a little bit of apple cider vinegar to do the trick. Okay, and then number two, marinate before you cook. So acid-based marinades like vinegar, lemon or lemon juice, wine, and yogurt can dramatically reduce HCA formation. So careful though not to use a high sugar marinade, which increases HCA formation and is also low in antioxidants. So looking at the different ways that you can marinate your protein source, think acid, in terms of what can also help to soften the meat. It also helps to soften the muscle of the protein source. If you're marinating for an hour, 2 hours a day, it can really make it a lot more tender, and also has protective technique, or like it also helps protect your body too. And then number three is don't overcook. The longer you cook something, the higher the temperature, the more HCA formation and more PAH. Blackened or charred meat has the highest HCAs, heterocyclamines, and PAH levels. And then, so really recommendation here is to cook on a medium heat and just until it's cooked through. So try not to really overdo the cooking process. Plus it tastes rubbery and dry and gunky if it's overcooked. Number four, choose leaner cuts of meat. So less processed meats, such as steaks, chicken thighs, ribs, fresh fish, seafood are all better choices. The fattier cuts of meat that drip onto the grill and can cause a flame to arise and a higher heat to be produced, and ultimately more PAH formation. And then covering your grill. Okay, so here's where I'm gonna suggest this, but I'm also gonna caution you on this. So covering your grill with foil can help reduce drips and food exposure to that flame. However, I don't recommend exposing your food to foil because it is made of aluminum, and aluminum can transfer into the food. It is a heavy metal, and heavy metal can also create toxicity. So if you're covering it so that you're avoiding drippings, but you're also putting something else on top, maybe like if you're cooking it at a very low temperature, let's say on the grill at 300 degrees, you can put parchment paper, you can put foil on, and then parchment paper on top to protect your food from being exposed to the aluminum and contact with aluminum. And then number 6, don't forget your fruits and vegetables. So fruits and vegetables are packed with antioxidants, health promoting chemical compounds, and they also help your liver remove toxins from your body. They inhibit nutrigenic activity of HCAs, so that formation. And an example would be trying out a dark leafy green salad with tomatoes, blueberries, topped with an herb vinaigrette and a side of your protein to complement the dish. So those are a few of your safety techniques for grilling. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for joining me today. Again, my name is Ashley Anderson, registered dietitian and personal trainer and owner of Move Fully Nourished. Have a fantastic day.